Miyamoto Musashi says, "Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men." Mediocrity is when we settle for just getting by, avoiding challenges and missing out on our full potential. It's living in the comfort zone where we do just enough to meet expectations, but never truly excel or innovate. Many of us fall into mediocrity because it's easy to stick with the familiar, resist change, and avoid taking risks. We might fear failure, lack motivation, or simply not know how to push beyond our current limits. Miyamoto Musashi was a legendary Japanese swordsman and strategist, renowned for his unparalleled skill in combat and his deep philosophical insights. Born in the 16th century, Musashi became famous for his unique two-sword fighting style and undefeated record in duels. Beyond his martial prowess, he was also a thoughtful writer and philosopher, best known for his classic work, The Book of Five Rings. In this classic text, Musashi delves into not only the art of swordsmanship, but also broader principles of strategy, tactics, and the cultivation of a mindset which will help us beat mediocrity. In this video, we're exploring how to stop settling for mediocrity and break free according to the philosophy of Miyamoto Musashi. Number 1. Find one thing to work for and expand your expertise within it. Musashi says, "Practice and understand the realization that by knowing one way, you know 1,000. Miyamoto Musashi dedicated his life to mastering the sword. As a young man, he trained tirelessly from dawn till dusk, always pushing his boundaries. At just 15 or 16, he left his home village to travel the country, seeking out the best masters and challenging renowned fighters. His relentless training and fearless spirit led him to countless victories, making his skills legendary. Musashi's method was both feared and respected. Although he focused on a single art, he could express it in countless ways. However, focusing on one thing in our modern world is like trying to read a single book in a noisy library filled with countless fascinating books, all vying for your attention. Each book represents a different opportunity, skill, or interest, while the noise symbolizes the constant distractions from social media, advertisements, and the fast-paced demands of our daily lives. Just as it's hard to concentrate on one book when surrounded by so many intriguing titles and persistent noise, it's difficult to dedicate ourselves to mastering that one skill or field. Our attention is constantly pulled in multiple directions, making it challenging to deep dive into any single pursuit. This scattered focus stops us from gaining deep knowledge and expertise because we can't give anything our full attention. As a result, we end up with a shallow understanding of many things and feel unfulfilled and mediocre in our efforts. However, when we focus on one thing, we explore its details and make connections others might miss. As we practice more, our skills get better, our confidence grows, and we start becoming experts. Mastering one area also lets us think creatively and stand out. This builds up our reputation, and people begin to recognize and seek out our expertise, opening up new opportunities for growth, collaboration, and success. Furthermore, juggling too many interests can be exhausting. By focusing on just the one thing, we avoid this exhaustion and keep our interest going and energy high. This helps us make steady progress, and with steady progress, we rise above mediocrity. Like Miyamoto Musashi, we should invest time in mastering one skill and finding various ways to express it. Once we've truly mastered that skill, we can then move on to learning something new, just as Miyamoto did when he later explored writing and philosophy. Number 2. Don't depend on your partial feeling. According to Miyamoto Musashi, do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. Musashi emphasized the importance of acting with complete clarity and decisiveness rather than being swayed by fragmented emotions. His concept of mushin, often translated as empty mind or mind of no mind, is central to this idea. Musashi believed that to achieve mastery in any discipline, be it martial arts or life, one must cultivate a state of mental clarity where decisions are made from a place of full understanding and impartiality. For example, consider a swordsman facing an opponent. If the swordsman is influenced by fear or overconfidence, their actions may become erratic and ineffective. In contrast, if the swordsman operates from a state of mushin, their movements are precise, well calculated, and unaffected by emotional turbulence. Similarly, imagine you're deciding whether to promote an internal employee or hire a new candidate for a crucial role. If personal biases or stress influence your decision, such as favoring the internal candidate due to a long-standing relationship, or choosing the external hire to avoid risk, you might end up making a less effective choice. Applying Musashi's principle of mushin, you should approach this decision with a clear, unbiased mindset. Evaluate each candidate's qualifications, potential for growth, and alignment with your team's needs and the company's goals. By focusing solely on these objective factors, you can make a well-informed decision. This ensures that your choice is based on rational analysis and strategic fit, leading to the best outcome for your team and organization. To develop the mushin or empty mind mindset, start by incorporating a few key habits into your daily routine. Begin with regular meditation practices to calm your mind and reduce stress. This helps you move beyond fleeting emotions and habitual thoughts. Next, make time for self-reflection to identify and manage your personal biases and emotional triggers, allowing you to approach situations more objectively. Finally, commit to continuous learning and critical thinking to see challenges from different perspectives and make well-informed decisions. By integrating these practices into your life, you'll cultivate a clear, focused mindset that leads to better results and helps you rise above mediocrity. Number 3. Stay focused. In the words of Miyamoto Musashi, never stray from the way. Musashi was known for his incredible focus, sticking to his path no matter the distractions around him. He trained tirelessly, always putting his goals first. He lived in a highly minimalistic lifestyle and owned only what he deemed absolutely necessary. This likely included his swords, a few pieces of clothing, and basic tools for survival. By limiting his possessions, he reduced distractions and responsibilities. He ate simple and frugal meals and lived in seclusion, such as in caves or simple huts, where he could train and meditate without interruption. For Musashi, accumulating wealth and objects was a waste of time, as it distracts us from more meaningful pursuits, which for him included spending countless hours perfecting his sword skills and studying strategy without letting comforts or distractions sway him. In today's world, staying focused is tougher than ever due to constant distractions. Our smartphones and computers are always buzzing with notifications, and we're bombarded with a flood of information. Multitasking often reduces the quality of our work and makes it hard to concentrate. The drive for instant gratification and endless entertainment options further pulls our attention away from long-term goals. This constant cycle of material consumption and sensory overload can make it difficult to maintain the clarity and discipline needed to achieve our objectives. To overcome mediocrity, we need to stay focused, and staying focused becomes easier when we embrace a simple lifestyle like Miyamoto. By keeping our desires in check and not being overly concerned with material possessions. When we prioritize less, we free up mental space and energy to focus on what truly matters. Establishing a daily routine helps create structure and keep distractions at bay. Setting clear goals and boundaries provides direction and motivation, ensuring that our efforts are aligned with our core priorities. Daily practices like regular exercise, healthy eating, and sufficient sleep also support our ability to stay focused by keeping us physically and mentally sharp. By valuing simplicity and reducing our attachment to material things, we create an environment that builds discipline that strengthens our ability to focus. By adopting these practices, you can mirror Musashi and rise above mediocrity. Number 4. Never let love or lust get in your way. Miyamoto teaches, do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. A key moment in Musashi's life was when he encountered a woman who, despite her charm, couldn't distract him from his path. Although she was alluring, Musashi remained dedicated to his martial training and spiritual growth. His commitment was so strong that even romance couldn't pull him off course. Musashi's relationships, though present, were always secondary to his quest for perfection in his art. Whether dealing with friends, rivals, or admirers, he kept his focus on his mission. He knew that to achieve greatness, he had to stay committed to his purpose with unwavering dedication. Relationships are important for our well-being, providing support and connection. However, they can also stir powerful emotions that may sway our decisions. For instance, you might hesitate to move for a great opportunity just because it means leaving a loved one behind, or turning down a promising job to spend more time with family. These are common dilemmas and raise the question, how much should love and desire influence our decisions? Musashi's life teaches us that while relationships can be motivating, they shouldn't derail our goals. His relationships never interfered with his dedication to his craft, showing that love and desire should support, not overshadow, our main objectives. Think of it like tending a garden. Each plant needs specific care and attention, but if you focus too much on adding extra fertilizer and neglect the basic needs of watering and weeding, your garden can suffer. Similarly, love and desire should be like the sunlight that nurtures your growth, but shouldn't overshadow the essential tasks needed to achieve your main goals. They should enhance and motivate you without taking over the focus from your primary path. If you haven't yet found the supportive love that aligns with your goals, don't rush it. Just keep moving forward and trust that the right love will come in time, helping you achieve your dreams rather than holding you back. Avoiding distractions from love or lust helps you stay focused. When you keep your priorities clear, you resist temporary passions, maintaining the discipline needed to rise above mediocrity. Number 5. Don't be a victim. Miyamoto Musashi once wrote, "Accept everything just the way it is." Miyamoto's life was filled with battles that tested his skills and resilience. One clear example of such a battle was his famous duel with Sasaki Kojiro in 1612. Kojiro was a highly skilled swordsman with a powerful technique and a fearsome reputation. The duel was set on a remote island, and Kojiro was well prepared with his signature weapon, making the situation daunting for Musashi. Instead of complaining about tough conditions or the strong opponent, Musashi accepted the reality of the situation. He arrived late to the duel, creating a psychological edge and allowing him to observe his opponent. He also used a wooden sword, which was both a practical choice and a tactic to unsettle Kojiro. Musashi's ability to stay calm and strategically adapt to the situation showed his commitment to facing challenges directly without letting them get to him. When Musashi talks about embracing reality, he means fully accepting and dealing with your current situation, facing things as they are, whether they're good, bad, or somewhere in between. without wishing they were different. Whether it's a personal struggle, a setback, or a new chance, it's all about acceptance. This approach helps you stay practical and proactive as you focus on what you can do with the situation rather than being stuck wishing things were different. You face facts honestly and squarely without letting emotions like frustration, regret, or anger cloud your judgment. On the other hand, when you only focus on what's wrong instead of the solution, you start to feel powerless and stuck. You're at the mercy of external circumstances. So instead of taking steps to solve problems, you end up blaming others or the situation, which keeps you feeling helpless and like a victim. Now, many of us might enjoy seeing ourselves as victims because it lets us avoid taking responsibility and helps shift the blame away from our own actions. But feeling like a victim can be addictive as it gives us sympathy from others. It's easy to stay in this mindset because it avoids the hard work of changing our situation or how we deal with it. This way, we can protect ourselves from facing failure or extra stress by blaming external factors. To escape from this victimhood, we should confront reality as it is, accept it without attaching labels or judgments. When we label situations, whether as unfair, disastrous, or impossible, we create emotional responses that can reinforce a victim mindset. These labels often trigger automatic reactions, making us feel helpless or justified in our frustrations. By avoiding labels, we observe the facts without being swayed by personal biases or emotional reactions. For example, instead of seeing a setback as a failure, we can view it as a challenge to address. This shift in perspective helps us to respond more thoughtfully and constructively, rather than reacting out of frustration or helplessness. When we accept reality, we confront our current circumstances and limitations honestly, rather than denying or sugarcoating them. This honest assessment allows us to identify areas where we might be falling short or improvements can be made, which helps us to beat mediocrity. Number 6. Protect your honor at all costs. In our final quote from Miyamoto Musashi for this video, he says, "You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor." Honor is a central tenet of Bushido, the code of the samurai. A samurai's honor encompasses 7 key virtues: integrity, courage, compassion, respect, loyalty, self-discipline, and rectitude, which is morally correct behavior or righteousness. Samurais were expected to uphold their honor at all times, in both their personal lives and in their roles as warriors. This meant acting with honesty, fairness, and respect in all dealings, whether with friends, family, or foes. Maintaining honor for them was more important than life itself. To restore honor after a disgrace, some samurai practiced seppuku, a ritual taking of one's own life to demonstrate their remorse and commitment to the code of Bushido. Seppuku was their way of trying to make things right, to cleanse themselves of their shame and showing that they were still loyal to their values. In this serious ritual, they tried to regain their honor and prove that, even in death, they stayed true to the principles they believed in. In today's world, we face intense pressure to succeed and meet high expectations, which sometimes leads us to bend the truth or hide mistakes to avoid criticism. At work, we see colleagues cutting corners and feel tempted to do the same. In our personal lives, we might lie to protect our reputation or our relationships. The digital world makes it easier to be dishonest because of anonymity. Many of our actions are driven by the desire for instant gratification. We're tempted to make dishonest choices for immediate benefits, overlooking the long-term consequences. All these factors together create a challenging environment for us. Yet we understand the value of living with honor and strive to overcome these pressures, knowing that true respect comes from living truthfully. When we live honourably and commit to all the 7 virtues of honour, we embrace honesty in all our interactions, both with others and ourselves. Honesty is crucial because it ensures our actions and words align with our values and helps build trust. We commit to keeping our promises, whether it's a small task or a big responsibility. Following through on our commitments shows that we're reliable and respect the trust others place in us. We also commit to acting with compassion and treat everyone fairly and kindly, no matter who they are. Lastly, we're committed to doing the right thing, even when it's hard. This dedication pushes us to improve and excel in all areas of life. By holding ourselves to these high standards, we avoid taking shortcuts or settling for less, which keeps us from becoming average. Instead, we strive for excellence and stand out in our actions and character. Honor drives us to be our best selves, making us extraordinary. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out our full Philosophies for Life playlist, and for more videos to help you find success and happiness using beautiful philosophical wisdom, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.